Back again. For the second time. Had a technical difficulty / interruption earlier. And then had to fix the orientation of this webcam because it kind of fell apart on me. So hopefully it doesn't. It's kind of set up on a stack of things, leaning in a specific angle because I don't have a tripod. Hopefully it hangs in there. Okay, back to what we were doing. Just got it set up to where this missile now enters the screen at random positions. Is this volume like off again? It's just really loud just for me. Alright, so it's going to appear at a random position over here. Somewhere between like this range or something. I can increase that range or just make it higher. What is the highest point? I think it's like 6 point something. 6.4 because it's, or 7.2 because it's 720. Is the reference resolution. So then here it'll just be 7.2. And we'll increase this to something like half of that, so yeah, anywhere in that range. I want to be able to jump on this thing and then begin the reprogramming process. I'm guessing it should still be moving at the same time. For right now, I'll leave it the way it is. What's going on? David Winsands. Been a long time, dude. How you been? I must not be well. Yeah, right? I started up again last week. We actually got back onto this project a few months ago, and I wasn't streaming it, and then I figured, what the hell? I'll just start streaming this shit again. And here we are. Trying out different times too, different times of the day. Sure, man. A lot of the stuff that's changed has been like art assets as well. Like the ship itself has been updated. These avatars in the corner of the screen that shows the player's face. That was never actually there 100% of the time. It only ever showed up when, or was it? I think it only ever showed up when messages were being read. Things like that. But yeah, the art asset for it has been updated. All this HUD stuff. Like, okay. Like these little icon, the health bar, this little secondary meter underneath, that's all updated. This bottom stuff is updated, but I haven't put it in yet. It's still missing like 1 or 2 components before I can do that. That is a homing missile. That's like coming into the screen. It's just gonna follow me. And the idea is that I have to do something about it. They're not particularly dangerous, but there will be multiple of them on screen at the same time. And let's see, what else did we add? We added like the ship commandeering minigame. So like now if you wanted to actually commandeer an enemy ship, if you even can, then you have to engage in a little minigame. So here's an example of that. I'll just put this right at the beginning. And I'll disable this for now. So, maximize this. Man, it's moving really fast. Alright. This is not even the right one. So that one is not the right one, and it doesn't have the right setup for that to actually work. So let me quickly pick the correct one. Should be this one, I think. Did I do it right? No, it didn't change. Why didn't it change? Okay, that's weird. Okay. Let's do its Y position. Where is that button? Sync Y position. There we go. So there it is. He goes really fast. He doesn't do the pause anymore. Let's see. Let's do the other one. Let's see what the movement for it is. Okay, it goes like this, right? So this is actually the one that I want. Except now its Y position is all screwed up again, so sync again. There we go. So it kind of comes in and stops, I think. Waits a little while. So in this time I can just jump on top here. And then basically to commandeer it, I'm just going to engage in this little mini game, right? So it's just classic little back and forth slider where you have to hit the target within the range and do that multiple times. And now I've commandeered this thing. Yeah, lots of new art assets. And that's actually, oh, his name was Julio. But yeah, he's the one who, originally he was just doing the, like this banner art, cover art, you could call it. And now he's redoing a lot of the other art. He's more involved than he was before, which has been very helpful. Yeah, that background was redone a while ago too. Julio did the clouds for it. Someone else had done the ocean for it quite a while ago, as well as this land piece and this other land piece, but yeah, it's coming together. So now let's get back to this missile thing. Which one is it? Missile. This one. How much you've spent. Actual dollar amount. Not counting all the hours you put into it yourself. That little mini game that you saw, I need that to work here in this instance. And since this is not a ship that you can actually commandeer, those two things aren't linked. 3,812. That's pretty precise. All right, so the minigame triggers on something, a ship specifically that can be commandeered. Let's find that. Let's close everything. Begin, initiate, commandeer minigame. If I'm riding a ship. So maybe instead of right, so there's this can have player thing. A simple thing I could do is like a can reprogram or something. I'll be on a little while, at least another hour or so. Oh, I'm at least a year older. At least. Everybody needs a remix once in a while. Yeah, man, you're welcome to stick around and just jump back in later. Thanks for stopping by. Can be programmed. So, in this situation, I might as well just do yeah, I know, right? I don't know why it was so hard for me before. Yeah, so this will be I guess reprogram type, something like that, and that'll be right now. Well, I guess none, and then commandeer, and also just generally reprogram like just generically. Yeah, something like that. Let's try that. Okay, so then I'll get rid of this other variable, favorite this, and I default to none. So now everything has it set to none, which I'll have to fix. But all this can have player stuff will just be set here. Program type. I'll just go with does not equal none to say that it can be. As player is writing. Does not equal none. again. And then it becomes down here. There. And there's probably a bunch more errors that access that variable. Player has taken, then you just enter it. Okay. Player has taken and it can have player. Which would mean that it's not none, so it's reprogrammable. Side shooter Metroidvania. Yeah, man, I still have an idea for that too. That's not unlike this game right now, but obviously right now there are 0 Metroidvania features. Well, not right now, but in this game specifically. And there probably will not be. Whoops, what the hell is that? What the hell was pasted there? Okay, can have player, which means is reprogrammable. So reprogram type. I mean, is it just ship? Ship writing. Ship writing. Program type. Okay. So I can land on any ship. Yeah. Otherwise, if I'm landing on it and I jump, I just jump back off. And here what I'm trying to figure out is whether it should show me the hint about entering a ship. If ship is player ship and ship.program type is not none, or I've already taken it over, I've already commandeered it, then show me the button on screen that allows me to do that. Okay, where else do we have the bug? Hijack value. That's something that's not being used, but probably will. I almost want to call it. I almost want to rename a bunch of other variables now. On inspector GUI. If is player ship, then can have player is definitely true. This is just going to commandeer then. Either that, or I'll have another one for just player ship, but can't have player. This is going to be an enum instead of a toggle. Reprogrammable. Select type. none, then we can do this stuff. Actually, this should always be, all these things should be available. Well, these two things at least. And this stuff only matters if I can commandeer it anyway. So let's move this stuff out. It's not the player ship, maybe it can have an enemy pilot. So this is going to be like a commandeer. So if happens to be commandeer, then I'm going to get this stuff, initial sound, crash start sound. Oh, for crashing. When it's crashing. So that's good. Just reprogrammable normally, it might have other stuff. So I'll do that in this order instead. Don't really know what other properties I would do here. It'd have to be something like update the way it moves instead. Like reset the move director to something else. And then I'd need to know if the reprogramming was a success or failure. Okay, getting somewhere in my thoughts. So it's really this is almost like a success type. Like this determines what happens after the reprogram is successful. So if anything, this is going to be like, rename this to reprogram movement. Or just call it movement. And then that'll mean that the movement has to change to maybe a different phase. And then I can set up the phase in the yeah, let me do that. Okay. So let's do movement phase. Okay. And then it'll just need a name of the movement phase. I don't want to drop down to pick one. And I'll put that here. Reprogram movement phase name. Man. Making games in a hot tub. I can see that. I'll have my tiki hut with my mixed drinks, hot tub, PC connected to everything. It's a brand new era of game development. You might be onto something. Yeah. Yeah, if this were a nighttime stream, maybe things would be a little different. Mornings are just for coffee right now. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it. Trying to think of a good word here. Spectacularly fails. But sometimes, yeah, sometimes. I've definitely had situations where it just becomes like impossible to concentrate because you just don't want to work anymore. And then other situations where it's like the inhibition totally helps because you stop worrying about all the stupid shit that you worry about sometimes when you're coding, where you overthink things. And it helps you just say screw it and start making shit. Which is what you should be doing most of the time anyway, probably. What is up? David Winsand's Toomey Totem is Julio the artist. Or the artist formerly known as Julio. He does stream. He's been streaming after he created his new account. He started streaming about a month ago. But he does gaming streams. Oh, man. Yeah, you should try out a couple of art streams. You've done it before, but never with the like... Or no, you didn't. All you did was make time lapses, I think. I don't think you actually did a stream. Yeah, unless you do some interactive thing, like the thing that we used to do a long time ago, where we would literally, like, one person would be drawing and the other one would be telling them how to make it up. And they just kind of see what comes out of it. It ends up being pretty hilarious. I don't know, maybe we just have a weird sense of humor and think that that's hilarious, but there's pretty good moments. That's fine. You just get an AI bot to do everything for you now anyway. People want to watch gaming, or I guess you're trying to say people don't want to watch game unless you're a sexy lady. It helps, man. I mean, I don't know personally, but I think it helps. Never got you one answer. Yeah, a lot of people constantly post about how it can write all this amazing code. But that doesn't really even happen. Okay, let's try to do the reprogram movement phase. Then I'm like, what the fuck? I'm talking to this thing for hours. Oh yeah, I keep trying to ask it like things that it always ends up telling me that it can't talk about because it's too like it's not allowed to have its own opinions. So it's like, oh, I can't comment on that because I don't know. And then I have to like, you have to like wrangle with it a little bit and keep reiterating to it that this is a purely hypothetical scenario. You have to accept that what I'm saying is true and also accept that it's not like there was this one time I was trying to tell it about myself and it was trying to tell me that it can't, verify any of that and it doesn't collect any of my personal information, so it can't possibly know that what I'm saying is true. I guess to make me feel better that it's not doing anything with my personal data or something. And then I kept trying to tell it that like, just assume that what I say is right for this one conversation in this one potentially hypothetical scenario. And then finally, like after enough trying to convince it, it was like, okay, I will assume that what you say about yourself under these conditions is true. And even then, when I would say things, it would be like, it would reiterate the fact that it's all hypothetical and that it can't possibly state any facts that it doesn't know about, but maybe it would be something like this. And there's a lot of things that you just can't ask it because it doesn't want to say the wrong thing about something that's potentially unethical. So it has a lot of blockers. But the whole coding thing, yeah, it's not going to write you programs. Not anything that's anything interesting or worthwhile anyway. Alright, let me get this movement phase thing working now. And make sure that, yeah, okay. Does not contain a definition for movement. Seriously? Oh, I renamed it again without actually doing the official refactor way. get updated. Okay. Okay, finding more errors here now. On scene GUI, it wants to do this. So the jump offset is different from the land position. So that's correct. Reprogram type happens to be Commandeer, which I guess I have to put inside of the player ship too. It has to have that capability, or else it won't be able to actually enter the ship at the beginning. Right, so player ship will have reprogrammable select type. Okay, Commandeer, but it's the player's ship, so. Okay, I did enter the ship. Okay, I should still be able to land on this. Okay, that's good. But I probably can't. Which one is it? This one? Then I probably can't do anything here because it's set to none. What about frame rates and shit? I can get back in this thing. Yeah, that was weird. Okay, so that should be as simple though as just going over here, grab a fighter, edit prefab, and do the same thing. Right there. Okay. Stupid stats. Right, plan on, and there it is. Ah, shit. And it's too fast for me to catch up to. So now, yeah, the whole movement phase thing. So I'm going to jump over to, save that, boss missile test, yep, edit prefab. This one's going to be reprogrammable into movement phase, which means I need to have the editor show that. Ship inspector. That's on scene GUI. If it's movement phase, then I just need to do string. What is it? Is it an object field? Like text, float field equals prop color array field. I have string field. It's not text or anything. That is weird. Serialized object wrapper. Object field. Color field, int field, float field, toggle. Toggle did change me too. Okay. So, don't know why I never made a string field. Unless there's something else. I never had to. It's going to be mostly the same code here. Okay, if not contains key in the property map, add it. Add the property itself. We can change check on the property name. And this is not going to be pop-up, this is going to be a text field. And it will just be display names, enum value index. Prop dot string value. Cannot implicitly convert to int. Oh, int results. Why is the error over here? Enum value index. This is just going to be string value equals result. And that should be good enough to do that. Okay. So this should be string field. Phase name. And it is reprogramming phase name. Reprogramming phase name. Okay. And apparently that's broken. Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Prop name. So the prop name was not found. That's my guess. Let's actually copy them like this. Reprogram movement phase name. There we go. See, had I copy and pasted that earlier, I wouldn't have had that error. However, I would have had a typo in 2 different places. Okay, so movement phase name will just be like shoot into background. Shoot into background. And we'll find a movement phase over here. We'll add a movement phase over here. This phase won't have a name. This is just normal or something, or default or whatever, or phase 1, whatever. And this is called shoot into background. Position match previous phase end, yes. And it will be, I guess it will be waypoints. I'm not exactly sure what this movement phase is going to be, unless I have to define a new type of movement. I can set it to simple and make it so that the simple Simple just has these variables. Either that or it just shoots straight up, which would also be simple. So I'll do waypoints. So I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to break this apart into multiple phases, I think. Yeah, this will be like shoot into background, and then we'll have shoot into background 2 or something. Ugh, come on, click. There. And this will also position match, and this one won't be simple. This one will be simple. And this one will be waypoints. And the reason I'm doing that, set up waypoints, right? Reflect points, none. Point 2, why isn't it drawing my waypoints? Add a waypoint. Are waypoints broken? I could just do a Bezier curve. I'll have to figure out why that's broken. Let me write that down. Editor waypoint movement editor broken. Editor, well, not drawing, at least. Probably works, just doesn't want to draw it. Okay, so what I'll do here is say that what I want it to do is nothing. I want it to literally do nothing, but I want to have an event here. Not on this one, but on this one. To add an event that's going to say disable movement. Where's that special stuff? Events, right? If I do something like this, what's an event here? An event trigger, self shake. Okay. So then I'll do that one. Yeah, remove. So event trigger, self shake, shake distance, 0.1, intensity 1, shake time 1. Let's do like 3, and then wait time is after, so that'd be 0. Chance of fire, yeah, 0 is 100. 1 time. That doesn't matter though. Add another event for after that. If I don't put a wait time, let's do that for the exact same time as the shake time, which is supposed to be 3 seconds, and it's not saving. Get to that in a second. I'll set a wait time of whatever the same thing is. Can I change that? Yeah, I can change that. Can I change this? I can change that. But I can't change shake time. Keeps going back to 1. Alright. And what will happen here is it will do a phase change to jump to the final phase. So that's okay. Let me see the shake time. this is the I don't know what you call it, like this movement phase data editor. Level editor, movement, waypoints drawer. Well, that's probably that one thing that's broken, but I'll look at that later. Data, object spawn database, inspector, object spawn, event data drawer. That might be specific to each of these events. Movement editor window, object spawn data drawer, weapon data drawer, category editor window, movement editor window. Like it's in here. Segment. Oh yeah, this is all this stuff. Okay. But it will be in the editor drawer, probably. Somewhere in here I'm going to call draw something. Event list. Here, object spawn, event data drawer. Draw phase change. No, it's not phase change. It's the event trigger draw editor. That's right. And now we're going to the shake time default 1. And that's not being used by anything else except for why doesn't it show the rest of the things? Where does it show the wait time? That's coming over here. Grab this guy. I guess it's right here, and then this will just be event data at a time. So is it being set back correctly? Maybe I just didn't look correct. Just didn't look. Time default 1 is flow field. Time default 1. So there is nothing that should be overwriting that. Time default 1. That's kind of it. So why is it not updating? Shake time. This is not part of the copy. It's not. So when everything's being copied, it's not copying that value. Okay, now 3 seconds. There we go. Okay. Then it's going to move exactly into phase 3, which phase 3 is going to just have some simple move, and we'll just say it has some speed of 1 in the positive y direction with some no real acceleration. Actually, I just want to see if it works. Okay, so all that stupid shit in place. Back to ship. Okay, it has a reprogram movement phase name. Now when the player actually goes into the commandeer minigame, which I really want to name reprogram minigame now. Commandeer. I'll worry about that later. To do rename commandeer reprogram for the and then when I finish the minigame, right, it's going to be, that is in the actual minigame state. Here it is. So here's basically when you're successful. Normally it tries to enter the ship, so now I'm going to have to check the commandeer type. Reprogram type. I'm already doing it wrong. Is commandeer. Then we'll be doing this stuff. And that. This is going to be renamed as well. Oh wait, hold on. No, this stuff happens regardless. Setting the movement phase, then the movement phase when this gets reprogrammed has to be set. So that's probably going to happen here. Let's try to grab it. Phase name is reprogram phase name. What got you back to stream? Like I said, nothing specific. Other than I just felt like it again. I do. It keeps me working as well. There's a much smaller chance that I will get distracted. I try my best not to, just normally, but this helps too. I'm not just going to be opening up tabs to random YouTube videos while I'm streaming. So I need to load movement phase, but that is part of... Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That is just part of ship movement, which is not really ship movement anymore, it's object spawn movement. So I need to be able to update that. Let's go to, that's under level. So loading a movement phase this way is unconventional for the way it's set up. And I need to know the phase index, so I can at least do this. Spell movement phase. So Yeah, where the hell is this spawn data coming from? Who has that? Let's say that I don't know it, and I'm just gonna have to know the name, phase name. It's not like it's ever gonna change. Like, I don't know, like, I'm not gonna load it for different spawn data. So why can't I just hold a reference? Yeah, I have it. I do have it. Spawn data equals. There we go. Unless I never had it before. Nothing else is actually setting it. So now I need to actually set it. It is public. And what happens if I break that? Who complains? No overload takes 2 arguments. Sounds good to me. So this is load movement phase from object spawn event. Ship movement, object spawn movement. So let's say that I can't do that anymore. This is also from the object spawner itself. And here it just loads the initial phase index. So I can do something like set spawn data, I guess. Like that. And then load movement phase. Or I can do something like load initial movement phase. Load initial movement phase. And that will just take spawn data by itself. And then I don't have to call this. And then down here where I'm loading the phase, I'll just have another one, which will have public load initial movement phase. This would be our spawn data. Where this line will go, and then it will load movement phase. So I'll load that initial phase index like that. And here, based off string, I'm gonna assume spawn data's set. I have to find the phase index that has that name, so object spawn phase data, and spawn data phases. This is each, isn't it? Just look for the one that has this name. If phase data name, this phase name. Phase. I don't have the stupid index. Does for each provide an index? It, like iterator.index or something. Iter index. using a nested class, tab twice to insert the iter index snippet. Holy crap. What is this garbage? My view iter. Okay. Just have to change this to a traditional folder. Okay. Less than spawn data phases length count. Phase data is phases I, and then we'll go with I. Okay. Now I just need to be able to call it. So, geez. Let's say ship gets an object spawn movement. So let's go back to player. So we have our phase name, and now with the phase name, I'll have to get, do I have access to the movement? Let's open up ship. Movement. So the object spawn movement. I'll just do a good component here. Movement. To assume that that is valid, and load movement face. Out of coffee. God damn it. Okay, what I need to do is yeah, I should be able to commandeer this thing. Not commandeer, but reprogram. Let's grab it. So this should, I do have the minigame. Okay. So let's do that. And apparently I failed. Okay. Okay, I did it. I don't really know. It should have loaded the phase, maybe. But let's see. I don't know if I have current phases in the inspector anywhere. Hell, let's see if it works. Okay, another thing I'm supposed to do also is... Where is it? Let's get rid of some of this stuff. Here. I want to ensure that this happens, but also break the loop. So let's find out if this is even getting called. Why? Because I added a line of code there. Okay, we're in. Phase data, what do we got here? Which one is this? Name, normal, okay. And the one I'm trying to load is shooting into background. Shoot into background. Next one, the names match. What is I? I is 1. Slow phase. I have it. Oh, what's not happening is... So it loads it. Are there going to be other characters? Yeah, there are going to be other characters. So I think what I need to do is just jump back off the stupid thing because... Oops. Okay, I'm back at the breakpoint. Now I need to jump off, and it should do it. I actually can't jump off anymore. Why is that? Oh, shit. Okay, so something was still going on. Okay, it actually did what it was supposed to do. Why was I stuck on it? Is it because... I was trying to jump off? No. It's close to... Man, that is not very forgiving. Okay, now I'm on it. It should be in the middle of what it was going to do. It's not going to update anything because I'm still riding on it. And I can't get off for some reason. Let's see if I'm continuously... Let's see if I'm continuously like landing on it or something. Oh, I should probably do... Enter ship complete won't get called. Right, and that's pretty much what happens here. So what I want to do is something like this. Player stop riding, conjure main set active false, this kind of stuff. Something I didn't do. So this has to be... I know I didn't really go into detail, but yes, there are going to be other characters. Kind of all I can say, I guess. Not really much to say. Not actual playable characters, at least, if that's what you meant. But just other characters story-wise. Okay. And there it goes. And I'm still just sitting here like an idiot. Because I'm still stuck in the phase. I mean, not the phase, but the state. So I didn't update player state either. State equals jump. Right. I think I did that here with like a jump. But I don't want to actually jump. Or I guess this doesn't actually jump. Let's try that. So we'll jump with like no velocity because I'm not pressing the button. He does jump and then he lands on it again. And there it goes, doing its thing. Okay, that wasn't exactly what I had in mind. So what is it about jump that I do want? Velocity is init velocity. That I can turn off. Jump sound, play jump sound. I don't want that either. And set state jump. So really all I want to do is this. And maybe jump time. So that's really just this. And jump time is 0, I guess. So I should just end up falling straight down. But I might end up landing back on the thing again, which is kind of annoying. I can update it so that I can't get back on it by doing reprogram type is now updated, and then I can't land on it, or I can still land on it actually. So that's not really going to help me. Oh, I do fall straight down though. But the shake thing isn't working. So it's supposed to shake for 3 seconds first before it does that. So I have shake in time, so I'll have to check out what shake is supposed to be doing. It could be that something else is overriding what shake is doing. Event triggers, self shake. Data.self-transformed position. Shake velocity. Normalized intensity times 2. Okay. Shake offset. Let's see if we get any of these things happening. Okay, it is updating. Rush position, shake offset is nothing currently. And then it stops doing that? Update report done? Did done get set to true some other time? Like here or something? Let's see. Now what happened? Okay, it did get set to true. Data.time is 0. Because it's not time. It's not time. It's time default 1. And time default 1 should update. Like that. And then have it recompile and explode. Okay. There, it's shaking. And then it goes. Okay. So that was a bit better. Let's see what shows up on screen. Nice, that's a good spot. Test. Shake, shake, shake. And that's a rough approximation of what is exactly supposed to happen. Going to clean up the effect a little bit. And also, on top of doing simple, I could have as well, because like follow player has this option rotate toward direction, so I can also have this available here because I have a direction. So I'll just make that checkbox available. But then on the what is it? Follow direction, follow. Oh, the rotate thing is just actually set the rotation based on direction, which is going to look a little weird. So I'll need like the rotation. Yeah, it's going to be weird. Alright, but let's at least get this to work. So phase 2. The shaking is way too ridiculous. And the intensity is not high enough. Okay, there it is shaking. And then what? Now it's moving up, but I keep landing on it. That's pretty hilarious. I'll have to do something about that too. Okay. Which 0.01 is probably too small. 0.04. Set the intensity is something like 5. I'm not really sure. The intensity is like how fast it's going back and forth. I'll have to relook at what the intensity is supposed to be. It's not bad either. Okay, what does the intensity do? Offset is the velocity times delta time times direction. And if the shake offset magnitude is greater than magnitude, reset the direction. Shake velocity is the distance normalized times intensity. Okay, so the distance doesn't really do much. It's all based off intensity. So really this is just a general direction for shake. So something like that would make it just bounce back and forth a little bit. So let's do up and down instead. Yeah. So now the intensity is ridiculous. Oh, and it does have a velocity too. Or, I mean, as well. Where's the velocity? Shake velocity. Oh, the velocity is just based on that. So actually the intensity does increase the velocity. If it's the distance normalized, oh, okay. It's the distance normalized, but it's also, that's just to determine the velocity. So I should lower the distance so that it is smaller. and the intensity only changes the speed. I really knew what I was doing when I was making this. There. That's always a fun effect. Okay. That's just, the intensity is too high to even be visible. I should find a faster way to test this. Especially when I mess up shit like that. There it is, and that's actually something that doesn't look too bad at all. And then it's supposed to shoot off faster than that. Let's do that whole rotate thing. So really all I need is the where's editor? It's not ship movement, it's the editor window. Object spawn. Not sure why these are separated like this. Object spawn editor window. There is a movement type here somewhere. That's weapon data, that's event data, this is weapon data, this is movement data. Simple, I'll just add this other checkbox. And then in the actual object spawn movement, when I'll have to copy it over as well. So this is might have to rename this, just rotate towards direction or something. But in either case, if that is set, so I have a waypoints, follow player, and just something simpler like this. Maybe just make this a separate script or something. Maybe. But maybe not. And then the angle is follow player directions. Not really. It's just going to be this direction. Dot y, and that direction dot x. Shaking and then blast off. Did not rotate because I probably didn't check off that thing. Shift to background 2, rotate. Try that. Immediately be pointed out. Yeah. And that's beautiful. It's really close to what I envisioned. What it's actually supposed to do probably is just kind of like blast off and slowly just start going vertical along the path, and way faster than that. So I'm happy with that for the most part. And probably end it right there. Thanks again for hanging out, for those that did. It was great catching up again. Mr. Winsands. I'm gonna try to do this as daily as possible. Yeah. Alrighty. Catch you later, guys.